We are members of the ruling party, UDA, and Kenya Kwanza government. We are here to address one important matter that is happening in terms of the amendment of the Constitution to give effect of extension of the presidential term, including the members of parliament, the Senate, and the governors, as proposed by one Senator, CHERALGEI. So we are here because we have done consultations, and we are here to let people know that that is not a government bill. It is the bill of a private individual. The information out there is that created by this bill is like it is a government bill. We are here to state categorically that we have consulted the executive, His Excellency the President. We have consulted the Speaker and the Majority Leader of the National Assembly, and we are all in agreement that those two important institutions, the executive and the legislature, were never consulted by the mover of that bill. It is purely an individual bill, and the government has nothing to do with it. We are here to state, as you know, if this is a government bill, it normally comes through the majority leader, either in the Senate or the National Assembly. It's very unfortunate that the impression that created out there is that we are in agreement with it. Far from that, we are not. We are members of UDA, and the party has pronounced itself, the executive has pronounced itself, and us, as members of parliament, we are also pronouncing ourselves that we are not for that bill. I will now hand over to Wakili Gishimo to take over through the second part of our press conference today.
We are here as members of parliament representing the National Assembly, and the members present here today represent very many members of parliament who are not able to attend today's presser because they are engaged at the constituencies and many other engagements, most of which are official engagements. And we want to make it clear to the entire nation that the bill that is being discussed that emanated from the Senate, it is a privately sponsored bill by one Honorable Senator CHERALGEI, member or Senator for Nandi. And we want to say categorically that members of National Assembly are not in any way involved in this bill. There is a perception that has been created amongst the public that members of parliament want to extend, or they are proposing to pass a law to extend their term from 5 years to 7 years, including that of the president, the governors, senators, and even members of the county assembly, as was advertised in the recently. And we want to make it clear, the Constitution is very clear that any bill that proposes to extend the term of the president must also go through a referendum. So Kenyans, in the unlikely event that this bill passes through the Senate, which I believe it will be a very big order or a very big task. When it comes to the National Assembly, if it will ever see its light and come to the National Assembly, I want to hereby confirm that after consultation with as many members of parliament, they've said that it will be dead on arrival. So this is not something that will even see the light. It will not even find its way to the referendum because it will definitely fail within parliament, either at the Senate or at the National Assembly. So as we are concerned about passing laws that are beneficial to the citizens of this country, and there are so many bills that are coming from private members, and the other many bills that are coming from the executive, including the coffee bill, which after the short recess we will resume and conclude upon, including the cooperatives bill, which will sanitize the sector of cooperatives in this Kenya, which has been a problem for a long time, and many other bills that are beneficial to this country. So we are committed as members of parliament to the citizens of this country to pass laws that are beneficial, but not laws that are selfish. So we take that proposal from an individual senator as a selfish and non-consultative bill that has found its way in the Senate. And I would urge all the citizens of this country, and even the media, should they find any issue with that bill, they should direct their questions to the individual member who is the sponsor of the bill, that is Honorable CHERALGEI, and not to the entire membership of the parliament, because most of us, actually all of us, are not concerned except himself. And he will be able to answer any question to any Kenyan about the bill and be able to justify, if any, why he came up with such a bill. So we disassociate ourselves, we distance ourselves from that bill, and we are ready to serve Kenyans on more beneficial sectors and spheres that can bring more benefits to the Kenyans. I think that matter rests as that. And on the content of the bill, we are not best placed to answer any question because it is a privately sponsored bill by Honorable CHERALGEI. I think at the appropriate time, you may create time and ask him any question in respect of the bill, because we are not we are not well placed to answer any question in respect of. That is why we are even distancing ourselves from the bill, and I think that matter rests at that. Whatever would have been the source of the bill, it will not have gotten our support, because that is not a matter that we feel is a priority for this country for now. We have more pressing issues, and we have more important issues that directly impact positively on Kenyans that we are concerned about and which we are directing our energy into. So this is not a matter that I believe, even if it came from whichever source, would have been ready to support as members of parliament. It is not within our mandate for now. If you want to serve beyond 7 years as proposed by Honorable Senator CHERALGEI, work well for your people. Get re-elected and you serve for 10 years and beyond, but not to get a shortcut for someone to serve for 10 years.
14 years.
We are ready for to be held accountable by Kenyans by the kind of work that we do, so that we can get another term. Yeah, so that is not a priority.
And also to disassociate myself and the parliament with the bill that is tailored by Honorable CHERALGEI. Kenya got its independence in 1963, and since then we have been going for elections after every 5 years, unless in 1982 when we had a snap election. This one is in our constitution. It was affirmed in the 2010 constitution. Only CHERALGEI thought that he is coming up with a popular bill. Since now you have realized this is a very unpopular bill, I do urge you, Mheshimiwa, to drop that bill forthwith, because I believe that this will not see the light of the day. Kenyans have other issues to look at, to think about, other than thinking about selfish individual interests like the bill that has been brought by Mheshimiwa CHERALGEI.
Yes, I'm saying there is no money to conduct referendums. We have more problems to deal with as Kenyan than to spend money on referendum to hand additional terms for anybody in this country. So we want to tell Kenyans and CHERALGEI, the mover, including the Senate itself, they need to be considerate when they are trying to push some bills that have financial implications. The Kenyan economy is struggling, so I don't think whether is anybody sane enough who can say this bill proceeds to the referendum. You know the cost of referendum. So, good people, Kenya is on a cruising in terms of development initiatives, and that's what we need to focus on, not the issues of referendum. And particularly referendum that have been moved by individual for whatever reason that he has not explained to Kenyans. And I would like to ask the leadership of the Senate, some bills that we are seeing coming through the Senate, they need to be scrutinized properly. We have seen some bills like the rice bill. I don't know, there's another one that's trying to come up. Please, let's be sensitive, because they do certain things and the members of Parliament, National Assembly, they are being blamed on some of these things. We are having conflicting interests between the Senate and the National Assembly, which should not be the case. We are supposed to be working in tandem in terms of the views that are of importance to Kenyans, not self-interest, which we are associating with this specific bill. Thank you very much.